Hello and welcome again to Pickelhaube Gaming, the only gaming channel with decently spiked headwear. And today we'll be looking at what would happen if you took SpongeBob SquarePants, poured concrete over him, turned him into a video game console. You get this, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the console that defined a generation, the console that saved the American games industry, and some weird shit like that. Like, it's just a gray box with a little bit of black, some red text. It's just, weird console. So, here's a review / small historical sort of video a la Amtrak Guy 365's Engines of Amtrak. Just without the engines of branding. And now that I mentioned that, here's some background to the Nintendo NES story.
The Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES for short, is Nintendo's first 8-bit system, released in 1985. Well, technically 1986, 1985 was the test market shit, but whatever. Thanks to some clever marketing and the redesign of the Japanese Famicom to look more like a piece of contemporary AV equipment, it revitalized the American home console market, doing the one thing Amtrak failed to do in its respective industry. The console sold like crack cakes in the ghetto and pretty much obliterated its competition, namely the Master System and the Atari 7800. As far as statistics went, the NES has a Ryko 2A03 CPU, which is a proprietary version of the MOS Technologies 6502 CPU, but with all the computery bits removed and with basic sound put in with 2 square wave channels, a triangle, and a noise channel, giving it more advanced sound than the Master System's 3 square wave plus 1 noise PSG sound chip, the same used in the Intellivision, which is weird. And the Atari 7800, not really sure if it's as comparable to the Poki chip, but whatever. The console also has a custom GPU known as the PPU, or Picture Processing Unit, which gives it 25 colors out of a palette of 54, which is better than the 7800, but a little worse than the Master System. The console has 2 controller ports, outputs a composite and coaxial video, and has an unused expansion port on the bottom. And yes, I did this all in one take. Mistakes and all. My mom is so proud of me.
So the NES has got some decent power for its generation. It also has a library of great games. You've got shooters like Contra and Gradius. You've got platformers like the Super Mario Brothers trilogy. You have grand RPGs. In fact, this was the console that defined the JRPG, because you got Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and whatever weird games you have on it. However, if there's one problem all Nintendo consoles have all across the board, from the oldest to the newest, is that they really retain their value. And to prove to you how valuable Nintendo consoles are, I'm going to demonstrate the price of a Nintendo console. Hello, is this the Bluebell Railway? Yes, this is the Bluebell Railway. I'm the controller, Terrier, speaking. I'd like to buy Stepney, please. Well, that's gonna cost you a pretty penny to get Stepney. Do you take NES stuff? Sure. I'll ship Stepney straight to your place. See, while the NES is cheaper to obtain games for than any other Nintendo system, especially compared to the Super Nintendo, in which Super Metroid costs $70, and the GameCube, where you have to sell your kidney to get it. But as far as consoles go, it's actually not that fun to collect games for the NES. I don't know why, but I feel like there's more fun consoles to collect for, like the PS1, the PS2, the Master System. Jesus, it's it's just kind of an overrated system, to be honest. That, and there's also problems with the system's reliability, especially with the zero force insertion emulation crap Nintendo tried to pull. Like, that gets worn out really easily over time. And the 10 NES lockout chip, which, Nintendo tried to do some, copy protection, but all it did is make playing games a hell of a piss shitter on this thing. Like, you're lucky to get your games to run on this, unless you can get past the blinking white screen of infinity because the 10 NES chip is so bloody touchy. And like I said earlier, it's a little on the overrated side. Like, it's kind of like Earthbound. Like, yeah, Earthbound is a fantastic, fucking amazing game, but I mean, is it really worth $200, $300? Same goes for the NES. Like, once you get past the genre-defining, the generation-defining games, like, what else is on this thing? Not much else. Anyway, thank you for sticking with me this far. Please leave a meatball sub and a like. And see you next time.